We've just come off of the Passover and Easter season. And in our repertoire of songs, when we give thanks for our freedom and we thank God, there's a song called Dayenu It Would Have Been Enough. For instance, if God had only given us Torah, that would have been enough. So I've been thinking about President Trump and his gifts to us. And when I say it would have been enough, I'd say Dayenu. Well, Trump has given us the tariffs. If he'd only given us the tariffs, it would have been enough. Dayenu. But it's not just the tariffs. He wants us to also build in America. Well, he's holding back $430 some odd billion from Biden's Inflation Reduction Act. We need that money for our infrastructure. Our manufacturing plants are at least 50 years old. I know there was one Ford Motor Company plant I was in the 70s that was already 70 years old. So we need new manufacturing facilities. We need infrastructure. We need bridges. We need fast trains. We could have had magnetic monorails in the 70s. We gave up the architecture to it. We gave up the patents. But we were the pioneers in fast trains and monorails. We need them now. We need a new electric grid. So, thank you, Trump, for saying that we need more. We do. But you got to give us the tools to work with. And the money's got to flow to the factories. Just can't be other folks building here. We need to be able to build our own roads, our own bridges. We need to afford signals for our railroads. They were supposed to be in years ago. So, Dayenu, as far as your tariffs are concerned, and I'm glad today when I'm recording this video, you made a deal with the UK. But hey, there's probably 180 more countries to go. Dayenu, leave us alone. It would have been enough. And you gave us Musk and Doge. Dayenu, and what have they done? They're trying to consolidate, even though they're not supposed to consolidate all of our data in one major database. So it's easy for hacking, easy for folks to destroy our identities or use our identities illegally. You've given Doge people access to all of our data when it was secure. Dayenu, don't give us such favors, please. Get Doge out of our federal agencies. They've destroyed U.S. aid, which means that our soft power overseas is also destroyed. Folks are getting HIV/AIDS again. People are getting measles. People are getting different diseases, polio, that we hope to eradicate. Dayenu, it's enough with Doge. He's getting rid of our Consumer Protection Financial Bureau. The folks who keep us safe, who keep the banks in line and regulate them and make sure they're in compliance and have enough of a cushion so that they don't need regulations. We don't want banks and lending companies to be unaccountable. We want them to have fiduciary responsibility. It's our money. Dayenu, get Doge out of our agencies. And what about our Constitution? You don't know what you're doing is constitutional or legal? Well, you've got those brilliant lawyers there with you. They're advising you, and I'm sure they've said, hey, getting $5 million to have lunch with you is not appropriate, and it's against the Ethics Bureau. I'm sure they've told you that not allowing due process to all immigrants and citizens of the United States before deporting them or placing them in a jail where nobody knows where they are. That's not legal either, and it's unconstitutional. Dayenu, stop. It would have been enough already if you didn't do all these things. We've got laws on the books. We've got a constitution to follow. And if you don't know our constitution and our laws, please have those brilliant lawyers educate you. Dayenu, it would have been enough. Don't go after our legal system. Don't go after our attorneys. Don't go after our judges. They're trying to do their job. And if you don't want to follow the law and you're not sure what the law is, ask your brilliant attorneys. They'll tell you. We already know you're not following ethics. The Emirates bought what? $2 billion worth of your cryptocurrency? And they're going to build a complex in Dubai, a Trump Gulf complex? That's not legal. That's against the ethics laws. The fact that Congress is mute, that's not our fault. It's yours. Stop intimidating them. Let them run the country. We need agencies. It was because of patronage in the early part of the century that led to an economic crash that the agencies came into being. Agencies protect the American people. We need health and housing services. You gave us Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Dayenu, but his policies, they're atrocious. They're making us have measles all over again, and his panacea. Folks are making money off of the quackery that's being produced out there when we need vaccines to curtail measles, mumps, whooping cough, rubella, polio. No need for folks to suffer in America. We're the pioneers in vaccines. Because of our preparedness, we were able to tackle COVID. And COVID still has effects on people today. Let us continue. Dayenu, it's enough. We need those grants for various vaccines. I want to know that I'm getting my flu shot on time in October and my next COVID booster also in October. Right now, there's been no work on the new vaccines, and that's a crime. Dayenu, make your deals elsewhere, but make sure that our economy doesn't go into a recession, that we've got the vaccines we need when we need them to prevent disease, and that our data is secure. I don't want anyone taking my identity and taking my money, nor does anyone else. Nor do I want to be in a surveillance state and get points for how great a citizen I am according to you, not according to other citizens. So, Dayenu, it's enough already. Leave us alone.